Let's make sure we do set this active class on the right link depending on which page we are. Now for that, I will go to my routes, and there, since I'm working on the add product, to the admin.js file where I do have that add product route, this one. Now I will return a new field here, the path field, and I will set this to admin add product. Now you can set this to whatever you want. It doesn't have to match the path this route has. It's just a pattern I like. So now I pass this path into my view so that the view can find out what is the path for which this was loaded. Now in main layout, we will get this path, and now I can do something interesting. In the main layout here, I know that I want to add the active class to this add product if the path, and the path now simply is a variable I get passed into the page, if the path simply is this one. And that is something we define, and therefore you could pick any path you want. So now I will add a check here. Now a class can be added, a CSS class, as an attribute here too. You don't have to use that dot notation. So class is equal to, and now I'll have some JavaScript code which we can enclose with brackets here. And now here I simply check if path, and path is simply just what I pass in here, so this key, if path is equal to this value. And that is why I meant you can use whatever path you want. You are defining the condition here. So if path is equal to this, then I know that add product is the page I'm on, because only for the add product route I do set this path. So then, if that is the case, I want to render active as a class here, otherwise an empty string. So otherwise I basically set no class. With this set up, now if I reload this page, you see add product is yellow because now it is marked as active. If I go to shop, that's not the case, but on shop we also don't use the layout yet. So let's continue now. For the shop, I also want to use the layout. So I will go to add product pug, copy my code here, and move it up over to shop pug. Let's keep the original code for now. Extend the main layout therefore. Now I do need the product CSS file here, but I don't need the forms, so let's remove that from the styles block. And for the content I will need main, but we don't render a form here. Instead we render this if loop. So let's, or this if block. So let's copy that entire code and put it in here. Make sure indentation is correct, that you don't mess this up. And now we can get rid of all the other code here. Now again, for the styling of the header, we would have a problem if I now reload, because it's not marked as active, because I need to use that same approach I did for the add product route. I pass in an additional key, path, and there I pass slash like this, or slash shop. Again, you don't have to use the real path that led to this route. I'll use slash though to keep this matched. And now in main layout, I copy my code from down there where I dynamically add this class and add it here for the shop too, but the path I'm checking for is just slash here. And now I do add active here if the path variable, which gets injected into the template, matches slash, which is only the case for this route. So now if I save this, I got an error here. Yeah, this should not be an equal sign here. This should be a colon in shop.js because we're creating a JavaScript object. And now if I reload here, this is active, and if we try adding a book, this also works. So this is now working. Now there's one thing I saw that I forgot, and that is the title for the page. It's always page not found, and that should of course not be the case. Now you could turn this title into a block, which you then set from inside the templates, or you do add a dynamic output here with hashtag curly braces and give this a name page title maybe. And now you just need to make sure that every render function passes in a page title. So for the 404 page, for the add product page, and the shop page, we have to pass in that page title key. So starting in admin.js, here we already got page title, so we're fine. In shop.js, here it's doc title, so let's rename this to page title to be in line with the other file and with our layout. And in the app.js file, where we have our 404 route, I'm not passing anything. So there, let's also send some data into the view. And let's also set a page title here, page not found. If we now go to our page and reload it, we see shop here as a title. For add product, we see add product. And if we enter something random here, we see page not found. So now this is working, and now we're using Pug. Now you can do way more with Pug, and you can combine all these features and do crazy stuff. I recommend diving into their official docs if you plan on using that. I instead want to show you the alternatives too. Now that we learned the basics of how templating engines work and how you can use them to output dynamic content in your views.